Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon to each and every one of you. My name is Lorenzo Weber, and this is the first installment of Asset Talk Tuesdays. If you are joining us, if you're part of one of our programs or being introduced to it for the first time, let me be one of the first to welcome you to the world of asset building. As I mentioned just a moment ago, my name is Lorenzo Weber. I serve as the program director for Strengthening Proviso Youth. And one of my responsibilities includes working with the My Mentor program. And so a lot of the content for today is just centered around supporting not only our mentors, but asset builders at large. So if you are an individual that works with young people and kids, this is to support in your efforts. The Asset Talk Tuesdays are made to be brief, but inspirational. These things or these broadcasts will evolve over time. We may incorporate other people, different ways of introducing the content. But the goal today is just to talk through of one of our assets and then allow you all to go on with your day. And so for today, talking about assets and what Asset Talk is, I'll start by just explaining a little bit about just the 40 developmental assets that's been brought to us by the Search Institute in St. Paul, Minnesota. When you think about the assets, these are 40 different approaches to positive youth development. And so these are a framework that would add to the well-being of our young people. This involves the community. This involves youth themselves, and it requires also a community of caring adults to support the well-being of our kids. And so that's just a brief kind of like a brief kind of explanation to what they are. If you were to think of anything, think of it as 40 approaches to positive youth development. So if you're joining us, of course, if you're online, drop your information, let us know that you're here. Again, this is the first Asset Talk Tuesday starting in April, and we'll be doing this until the wheels fall off. But again, if you're just now joining us, whether you're watching a re-recording of this or if you are in fact joining us within our sessions today, welcome, welcome, welcome. Just a second ago, I just gave a brief overview of just kind of introduction to the assets, but I'm going to share with you one of the first categories of the 40 developmental assets. And as I mentioned before, this is made to be brief so that you all can get back to what you're doing. You may have stumbled across this, but the goal is to get you what you need and send you on your way. So here you should see Asset Talk Tuesday. I'm going to give us our first category. Well, right before I do that, I'll give you a few of the categories. We'll be exploring all of these categories in a really exciting way. And then those who have interested in diving deeper, there's opportunities to become a mentor in the My Mentor program. If you're already currently a mentor within the community, we want to plug you or find ways to showcase your work as well. But the 8 categories of the assets, they either fall in an external or an internal category. External, think of the things that happen around our young people, and then internal assets of what happens inside our young people. That's a Lorenzo version of the assets. But today we'll focus on support. Then after we get through support, we'll move on to empowerment, boundaries and expectations, constructive use of time, and then we move over to the internal assets, which I'm excited about as well, which is the things about commitment to learning, positive values, social competencies, and then positive identity. Together, collectively, these 8 categories provide positive outcomes for our young people. And when these assets are present, chances of youth engaging in great activities are positive activities, enriching activities are more likely and less likely to engage in negative behavior. And so we'll be having other conversations about this and even just hearing from young people directly through our journey together in understanding what these assets are and what these assets do. But here's our support category. Here's our support. Support, according to the Search Institute, is young people need to be surrounded by people who love, care for, appreciate, and accept them. That's support. They need to be surrounding people who love, care for, appreciate, and accept them. The two focuses for today's conversation is going to be family support and positive family communication. Positive family communication. Cliff has just joined us with Dream Chasers United. And so welcome, Cliff. We're, of course, started our session today. Just want to let you know we're also live on Facebook on the Strengthening Proviso youth page as well. But today we're just simply starting off for our Asset Tuesday conversation around support. And support is defined as the need, young people need to be surrounded by people who love, care for, appreciate, and accept them. So that's where we are right now. Just kicking off with these two areas that we'll talk about today, the importance of family support and then positive family communication. Those are the two things we'll focus on. Of course, we'll be encouraging people to learn more about the whole entire support category, but that's where we want to kick off. How you doing today, Cliff?
I'm good, brother. How you feeling?
Real good, real good. I know you running in and about, but the conversation right now for Asset Talk is support. And so anything that you wanted to jump in on the subject to say the need for young people to be surrounded by people who love, care for, appreciate, and accept them. Based on your line of work, how important is something like this?
Oh man, it's crucial because just building that community around the kids, and then even right now we're going through a lot of teaching our some of our youth about their immediate peer group too. So
Okay,
that's something that's major too. Just having just the right people around them to keep them motivated, pushing, just to see the right thing.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And in particular, with these two areas, the family support, according to the Search Institute, they mentioned that family life provides high level of love and support. So in a large degree, it happens at home. It's from parents to siblings, things that they get those levels of love and support starting at home.
Exactly.
Yeah. Then it moves on to positive family communication. So it's great to know that the family life, according to them, is love and support. But they talk about the positive family communication. And they say young people and their parents communicate positively, and the young person is willing to seek parents' advice and counsel. I do understand that sometimes this of course is at times things are underutilized in this department. As you just mentioned a second ago, when you said the peers, which our peers are a great source of influence and information for young people. Here, this first part talks about seeking parents' advice and counsel. How often do you think these type of things are explored? Like, I'm gonna talk to my folks first, talk to my parents first.
I mean, 'cause sometimes it depends on a lot of how much the parents are involved with the student, like with the youth, because a lot of times that kind of opens up that communication. But is a lot of it, I've noticed it comes from the parents, like the parents down, and kind of create that openness communication. And then once they
Yeah.
create that openness, then the youth will be more willing to like just open themselves up and ask them different questions. But it's almost like sometimes when you have to let people see your vulnerability, then it's like, oh man, I was going through that too. Now let's talk about it. It's kind of that.
Yeah. So it's something key to what you just said, Cliff. You said vulnerability, and I think that's one of those things, to be somewhat vulnerable. Tell me a little bit more about what you were thinking when you said that. When you said vulnerable, what does that look like in a practical sense?
To let them know that you're not perfect too, because a
Oh,
lot of
that's
times,
big.
yeah, Because a lot of
Yeah,
times
that's good.
kids see adults and they looking at that. They don't want us to look at them like they messing up.
Right.
So they don't
Yeah.
come to you with certain stuff. But it's like, man, nah, I messed up the same way. Like, let's talk about it.
Right. Yeah. No, I think that's really key and critical when it comes down to that, to be vulnerable in that space, to know that we make mistakes, that we aren't perfect. And I think those are the hallmarks of building a relationship in which positive family communication can take place. So yeah, I mean, these are the two main areas I was mentioning as we jump into these kind of conversation around support. The asset talk is to expose people to the various categories of the 40 developmental assets. Recently, you all have just joined us as one of the mentors and within the program, and you also have an incredible program with Dream Chasers United. How do you all incorporate support? And I'll give this definition once more for those that might be just jumping on. It's support. The category is defined as young people need to be surrounded by people who love, care for, appreciate, and accept them. In your incredible program, by the way, feel free to talk a little bit about it, but tell us a little bit how you incorporate support, which is your whole program is support, into this concept into your program. It's funny even asking you this out of all the conversations we have, but since we're starting this, feel free having.
Oh, cool, man. I'm gonna say, you know, that's what we do. Because I
Right,
mean,
support is who you are.
and I love the way that we able to do it because it's hinged a lot off of like the kids' skills, values, and interests. So we have the students start off with like goal setting, but
Right,
within that we have like the adults in on their goal setting. So it's like, you know, a lot of times your parents are like, may want you to be a doctor or something. So then they telling you this way, but this way it's kind of like the reverse. It's like the
right,
kid is saying, I want to be an engineer. And then
right,
there's now bringing the parents in on it, like, okay, now how do we help you with your goals? So it's like that kind of support is like almost like keeping them accountable, but
right.
almost like making it a group goal.
Oh, that's good. I think that's like that strategic support. I'm supporting them in a like a really good way, almost like reverse engineering. We're not imposing expectations on them, but we're learning about what they want to do and supporting the vision that they're trying to manifest in their own life. So I think that's incredible. Do you mind telling a little bit about you all's you and Demetrius's program with Dream Chasers?
Oh yeah, no problem. So I'm the executive director of Green Chasers United, 501c3 program that we have in Proviso Township in city of Chicago. So right now we intended to go largely with high school students now, but we work from 7th through high school. But right now, just to get more hands-on like opportunities for the kids, just a lot more for the high schoolers. But we start off with like goal setting. It's career readiness, workforce, career readiness, financial literacy, and entrepreneurship. So that's the gist of the program. But it starts off with a career assessment, goal setting, and then from there we take the goals that they want to do and then teach them about how to get to those goals financially. Then once they know how to get to them financially, then we attack them with character development. So we take them through like mental health, things like that, physical health, and just ways to be mindful and deal with stress throughout the day to day. And then from there, we go into workforce readiness, which is getting ready to build their resumes, teach the guys how to tie ties, girls go through etiquette. And then we end it with them all creating a business plan. So it's like kind of, you know, full circle from figuring out what they want to do, seeing how they're going to gain the skills for that, and then coming up with a business plan, almost like the exit strategy for working for somebody else.
So as you were talking, I wanted to go back to the 8 categories. It's the things is even as you were speaking about, and I'm trying not to, I'm in support, but I wanted to highlight kind of the things that you talked about. You are the epitome of external assets with the programs that you all do. Young people are surrounded by people who love, care for, appreciate, and accept them. You definitely said a lot as what you're cultivating in kids with support. You think about empowerment, feel valued, this happens when you feel safe and respected. That's an environment of empowerment that you're providing. And the constructive use of time is that bottom category there, which is young people need opportunity. So you're really like making that happen, developing new skills, interests in young people and the adults connected to it. I'm sure this is inspirational to both youth and adults and young adults as well, based on what that you're giving them something to do, but you're pointing them in the right direction. And those things bleed over into the internal assets of what's going on inside, commitment to learning, positive values, and all these other things, even positive identity. Individuals are learning how to look at themselves and take control over what's happening to them in the area of understanding their self-worth, but also really doing things like starting a business. So I think those are incredible things all in one setting. And it stems from the support that you give, but it does a whole host of other things, which I'm really excited just to hear about. So yeah, I'm just super stoked about like the program that you all do and the opportunity that we have to really work together. So these are just a snippet of what's happening in the realm of asset building. And so that's why I'm really excited to just delve into the support category, which is what we do externally in our communities. So to kind of put this into really perspective around the ones that we brought up around family support and positive family communication, we all have a unique opportunity to support starting at home. And so we look around in some of our landscape. Some of us are part of multiple member family homes, and it's an opportunity to provide a positive, loving environment. Those start with having non-judgmental conversations, host of things, letting individuals know that you too, as either the adults, the leaders of the house, that you're not perfect. You do make mistakes. That's one of the nuggets we got in our brief conversation today. And then we learned even more about some of the opportunities that exist outside the home, like within the community, and plugging in with a nonprofit organization like a Dream Chasers United or My Mentor program. So this is just the first of that. And so Cliff, for this time we had like this brief moment of to thank you, as I've thanked you in other ways, but in this way, I want to thank you publicly for just taking the time out to be part of this first installment of the Asset Talk Tuesdays. The conversation was around support. We learned a little bit about you. We talked about family communication, positive family communication, and more to come in these. We do Mentor Mondays as well. So individuals on 6 p.m. Mondays, we will have these Mentor Mondays where we talk with mentors that we're connected with, or community mentors that we may not have met, hear and learn about the 40 developmental assets in some of their individual journeys, as well as best practices when it comes to mentoring. So our hope is that this builds a lot of traction as we walk through what does it mean to build a community of what is known as asset builders, where we're building up the capacity within each other as community leaders, as mentors, and then as well as amongst youth, about having the maximum amount of these 40 developmental assets. So yeah, no, thanks Cliff for your time today. It was great hanging with you for a minute as we running in between, probably grabbing sandwiches and running errands.
Right, you already know.
But thank you and Demetrius for what you all do Dream Chasers and all that. So yeah, no, I appreciate you, man.
Oh yeah, no, definitely you too, brother. Like that. Yeah, somebody in the fight with you, man.
Yeah. So yeah, that will conclude our time today. If you guys are looking at the rebroadcast of this, things like this, you can of course visit have all these things, strengtheningprovisoyouth.org. So www.strengtheningprovisoyouth.org to learn about the My Mentor program, and then also pick up information about Strengthening Proviso Youth, as well as sign up, whether you know a young person that would appreciate the support of a mentor, you can sign up there. Or if you're an individual that would like to become a mentor, there is an opportunity for you to do that by signing up under the My Mentor tab on the website. So that concludes Asset Tuesday today. See you all next week.
All right, cool. See you.
All right, yeah, see you.